Episode 240. Our victory tour through the Heavensward areas continues. This side quest, which is just some sort of quest to talk to everybody and reminisce your journey through Heavensward. I estimate we're probably, 40% through, if we're at the Turning Mist part of the story, which would have been before the halfway point. I guess the halfway point would have been defeating Nidhogg and returning to Ishgard. So I guess if we're visiting the monastery now, that would be the part of the story where we actually defeat Nidhogg. So maybe more like 50% through, or close enough. I'm actually not sure if this whole questline is going to continue past Heavensward, the story of Heavensward, and into the finale of the Dragonsong War, up until what we just finished a couple episodes ago, where we defeated Nidhogg once and for all. I imagine this is just for only the base expansion. If this questline came out in 3.3, it probably didn't have you looking back nostalgic like on stuff that happened just a few weeks ago or something. Back at the time it came out, that is. No one to talk to here. I guess we're just staring out at it and thinking to ourselves. Through tempestuous winds they carved a path, reaching the dread worm's sanctum, and there did they put him to the sword. Yet in the wake of hard-fought victory were secrets laid bare, in a vision dark and disturbing. The legacy of the fathers, bequeathed to their sons and passed down through the generations. Old blood enduring in the new, the mark of original sin. Komori nods to herself as if confirming that she's remembering correctly, almost like she feels like she's forgetting. She's not that old yet, even though she's kind of dressing like she is right now. And immediately back to Ishgard. Are we already on the Hilda part of the storyline already? I guess Hilda was introduced around the time we were infiltrating the vault to rescue Aymeric. That sounds about right, I guess. Her usual hangout, this one corner, I guess. Does she live inside this tunnel? Maybe, past the no-entry zone? Ever since all this new blood's joined the Watch, Simi's been acting a bit odd. Like he's eager to prove himself or something. You've got nothing to prove, Simi. You've got nothing. It's my job to watch Hilda's back. I don't trust anyone to keep her safe. Or anyone else to keep her safe. And there she is at last. Gibberlot said you were wandering all over, reminiscing about days gone by. Seems a bit soon if you ask me. Yeah, it just happened yesterday when we defeated Nidhogg. We've been over this. It's not like I don't understand, though. Some days, I'll be walking through the broom, same as normal, and it'll hit me all of a sudden just how much has changed. Changed for us. Though I know it's a bit different from what you've been through. Puts me in mind of the first time I saw her friends near the Aetherite, being shown around by that House for Tom's man. Wait, that was this guy? I remember that part of the questline. I remember when we first arrived in Ishgard, there was this one rude guy talking about how people lived in the broom and all that. Didn't realize it was this guy. Oh, you never told me you'd met before. I guess it was like foreshadowing or something, or whatever equivalent word that might be. If it weren't so much a meeting as a heckling, to be honest. When I heard their guide warning them off paying a visit to the broom, it stuck in my craw. And you've got to admit that Master Alphinode's the spitting image of a snotty little lord thing. Well, true. A little lord thing that went on to fight 2 knights of the Heavensward, with Komoi here in a trial by combat. Not to mention helping retake the vault from the True Brothers. Fairy have mercy. It feels like a bleeding lifetime ago, don't it? 'Cause it was. What we've got now, is nothing like what came before. It's a bleeding rebirth is what it is. Hold comfort to the folk who died getting us here. Right, that part of the story. Still, this piece is ours, and we owe it to ourselves to make the most of it. Meaning we've got to work twice as hard to make the broom a better place. And no more harassing blue bloods neither. Unless they're really blue about it. Aye aye. A world apart from the opulence of the pillars, they had toiled, shrouded in the haze of the broom, sentenced to a life of hardship by birth. They dreamed of revolution as children dream of fairies. Then one came and went, and they suddenly found themselves with a seat at the table. They're basically little lordlings themselves for the House of Commons or whatever it's called. Perhaps it's time the watch expanded its duties. Maybe help out with the reconstruction efforts. Yeah, they're in charge now. Haha, just goes to show you that you can't judge a man by appearances, eh? Nor tell what fate's got in store for you. All the more reason to watch your words when you're in your cups. Yeah, you be on your best behavior, you hear? We're watching you. Not really, we don't care about Amundsen. I know you've got Sir Cherubert in the end, or you got Sir Cherubert in the end, but I have to admit, I'm still a little bitter that it wasn't me. Gave me reason to practice my marksmanship though. If this were written, this story, if it were written in a different time, or if they, I don't know, had the foresight that they were going to change up the way duties worked, they definitely would have written it so that Hilda would have accompanied you into the vault, alongside Horschiefant and whoever else, I guess. I imagine, anyway. Maybe they would have had, I don't know, Lucia or something. I guess she was rescuing Aymeric at the time. Oh, we're going to Ogsundu now. Right, that part of the story. Where we were chasing down Bismarck. Actually, we're kind of rapidly flying through the remaining parts of the story, I think. Well, no, we still have to go to the hinterlands and all of that. Oh, clouds part and let shine brilliant sun upon Lonu Vanu. Great Netherling warrior returns to Ogsundu, and on pilgrimage of remembrance, well. Know that we will always be grateful to you for your victory over the ravenous white. No longer need we fear for the safety of our smallest islands. But Lonu Vanu is not one to forget Netherling's first coming, when she saves us from certain deaths at the hands of the Black Ones. Distant memory though it is. Right, I actually forgot about that part of the story, where we met the Emperor of the Guardian Empire, the biggest priority target, like, in the story so far. Well, I guess close to the Asians, I guess, but still pretty big. Yes, her many deeds are the stuff of legends. We shall remember the stories, and the hero's name, Komoi Moriko, for they are worthy of celebration now and ever after. An earnest, good-natured people, they had borne witness to the rage of their beloved god's twisted manifestation, and proclaimed it to be false. By the grace of kind travelers, were they duly delivered from its wrath, the mad god's death signaling the birth of a new hero. You say new hero, but we're kind of like heroes every time, right? Doesn't feel new, just business as usual. If it pleases Netherling, you are welcome to partake of fresh Wamura Kampe before parting. Tender, supple flesh gives way to sticky... No? Then this raging typhoon stirs fields bare, or strips fields bare. No new Vanu shall devour all. I guess Komori doesn't want to get her new coat all sticky. She's gotten posh in her old age. No, she's not old yet. Oh, this part of the story, huh? I guess we're visiting Gemitra to reminisce that time Y'shtola was naked. Of course, we saw Gemitra not too long ago when we were doing the Sumner questline. I guess we'll see her again when we pick that back up for level 60 to 70 questline stuff. But that would be the last time because at level 70 and so on, they don't do that anymore. How did you get up there? How's that possible? No, really? How? Are you a hacker? You could maybe jump from one lamppost to the other, but how would you get there in the first place? Like, up here? This isn't jumpable, is it? Or is it? Wait, can you get up here? It seems like on the minimap, this is like usable land or whatever over here. Huh, I never knew. Well, thanks for showing me, Layla. If I ever have to open up another episode over here in the Sumner Zone, I guess I could do it over here on one of these lampposts or something. If I can do the requisite platforming at the very end. Well met, Komori. What brings you here this day? Not for Sumner stuff. Indeed. Though it seems an age, it was not all that long ago that we rescued Stola from the lifestream. How quickly we begin to forget. Even those memories most precious to us. Yeah, I did kind of forget, didn't I? In my defense, I might add that I have rarely missed an opportunity to make new memories with my sister. In the days since her return. What have you guys been doing? Our conversations are largely on matters of scientific and professional concern. Ancient elegant technologies, primals, Asians, and so forth. She has an insatiable thirst for knowledge, as you know. Yet while I understand her desire not to burden those around her with her troubles, and to carry on as she did before, I do worry that her willingness to manipulate her own ether to compensate for her loss of her sight may have dire repercussions. Okay, wait. I'm forgetting the part of the story where Y'shtola told us that she couldn't see. We, the player, know from like one cutscene with her mom, what's her name again? The old witch. I'm forgetting her name for some reason. Whatever, we're gonna visit her pretty soon. But I don't remember where Y'shtola told the player that she was blind. Well, if we didn't learn it through the story, I guess, we somehow learned it off-screen, I guess. Oh, okay, no wait, it happened just now. That's weird. It happens right here in this side quest? Wait, what? We learned it just now, Komori, the player character, learns it in this side quest. I never did the side quest on my main character, so my main character, like, never canonically learned it or something? Or I guess would have learned it off-screen? It's so weird. She never told you then, but of course not. She would rather have defeated the purpose. You should know that the technique she employs places a tremendous strain on her body. She is, of course, well aware of her limits, and more than willing to ignore them should she deem it necessary. I pray you see that she does not. Okay, we'll keep an eye on her, because she can't herself. Sorry, that's rude. Regrettably, she is wont to ignore my advice when it does not suit her. Yet given your shared experiences, perhaps she will be more willing to heed your warnings. Her sister was under no illusions as to the danger of the life she had chosen. Should the worst come to worst, Y'shtola would do what needed to be done, pay any price, make any sacrifice, and that without hesitation. She was a woman of conviction, deserving of respect and admiration, and no small amount of worry. You make it sound like she's gonna die. We'll keep an eye out for her, though. Alas, my studies of Alcan technology have not yielded any earth-shattering revelations of late. Rest assured, however, that I will inform Tataru immediately, should that unhappy state of affairs chance to change. I'm not sure if that was related to this current side quest line or the Summoner quest line. Could go either way. And now we're talking to Sofix about this stuff, while Sofix's daughter is kind of held ransom, kind of tone deaf a bit, that we're going on this nostalgia tour, while there are still pressing matters regarding Alexander currently happening. Pishkar, why must governing great Gabi nation be so difficult? Like herding corals, stupid corals, with muchly differing views on glorious nation's future direction. We're not here for that. Yes, Sofix knows he is letting emotions run wild. Uplander is welcome voice of reason. Not like when Uplanders first returned to Idleshire, yes? So much venom in that one's tongue flaps. Calling Gobbyflock thieves. But Sofix saw a way to mutual understanding. Citizenship in society, first step in strengthening communal ties. Gives all vested interest in continued prosperity of egalitarian utopia. I don't know what egalitarian means, and I'm not sure what from the context clues it might mean either. Well, that's the quest. How many more quests are in this quest line? I don't know. But I'd say we're about... what is it? From this point, maybe 70 or 80% through the storyline? I think we're kind of rapidly accelerating towards the end. Maybe it'll slow down at the end, though. Anyway. For the final objective of this quest, you will receive no guidance from the journal or the duty list. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Sometimes side quests do this sort of thing. It happened in the sword plus sword equals dagger questline, whatever that would be called. And very rarely in other side quests. I kind of like when it does this, though. It's sort of like testing the player's memory or understanding. Well, in the sword plus sword equals dagger side quest, it was different because they ask you to find things that you may have never seen. But in this case, they're definitely going to ask you to go to a place that you would have to remember from the storyline, just through nostalgia or something, which I'm going to like, I think. Anyway, you will need to read the text carefully and decipher the clues to determine your next course of action. Oh, and we get an emote from this. I guess this is the last part of the quest then. Pishkar, and now Sofix bids Uplander fulfill civic duty as citizen of Idleshire with handlending of great import. In cave south of settlement lives Old Crone, builder of powerful magics, used to crafty make frogmen that chase away curious gobbies, like this frogman hopping around right here. Uplander has made many busy deals with Old Crone, yes? And Uplander can appeal to Crone's better nature and make her call off frogmen harriers. She has a name, you know. A name that I also forgot. Master Matoya, that was her name. I remembered, before Sofix did. Gobbyflock does not go looking for trouble. Trouble comes looking for Gobbyflock. Honest. Okay. And we gotta fly all the way over there because there's no telepoint nearby her cave. Over this way. Alexander's still sitting there, being a menace. Before we can deal with him, though, in this patch we're gonna have to do... It would have been the Alliance raid, so the second part of that. Last time was a Void Arc, and then this time would be... Well, I guess we'll get there when we get to there. But I know what we're going to, I guess. I'll just have to remember all of the mechanics. Or look them up, I guess. Before that, though, I think we'll have to do some dungeons, or at least one dungeon. And maybe the Imperium, or something like that. The Foundation. The... whatever it's called, where you do the crafter stuff. And the gatherer stuff. Did we ever learn her first name? We just know her by Master Matoya, I think. Or just Matoya. Where's that T, Matoya? We never got it. Well, this is a pleasant surprise. Really? You're not sarcastic? You're happy to see us? I'm well aware that you're only here because you want something, but at least you didn't bring your little friends. So out with it. Oh. Is it pleasant because we didn't bring our little friends? She just hates company, so it's pleasant whenever company arrives with less company than usual, I guess. We're just here on business, I guess, and also reminiscing. Oh, is that what the goblins told you? That my servants were attacking their poor defensive scouts? Is that the slightest provocation? Huh. The little buggers were trying to eat them. They're lucky I didn't have my Paragos return the favor. But you can tell them from me. But you can tell them from me that if they try it again, I will personally feed them to my servants, one limb at a time. I do hope you didn't come all this way just to play errand girl for those dirty little scoundrels. We're having fun. Nostalgia. You know about that, right? Everything is nostalgia for you because you're so old. Aren't you a bit young to be going on grand journeys of reflection? That's what I've been saying. You haven't lived long enough to have so many regrets. The same goes for that boy, complaining that things hadn't unfolded as he dreamed they would. Oh, I guess we're skipping ahead to the Minfilia stuff. It makes no difference what should have happened to Minfilia. What matters is what did happen. The past is the past, and no amount of wishing you've done things differently will make it so. Kind of harsh, but I guess it's true. You make your choices, and you do what needs to be done. That's it. That's the attitude you came here with the first time. When you wanted to find a way to get to Azizla, and you would do well to remember it. Right then. I think you've wasted quite enough of my time. It's bad enough that I have to suffer Stolla's unannounced visits. I don't need you making a habit of it too. She was the sum of everything that had come before. Triumphs, failures, all essential, all indispensable. Had things unfolded differently, so too would she. What use then to mourn the woman who never was? There was only this time, this place, this choice. Maybe she's not one for nostalgia after all. I guess based on that line and everything she told us, maybe she's not the type to look back on her previous actions and reminisce on how things could have been different or feel nostalgia for them or whatever. Who knows? Mayhap if I hung a sign around their neck saying Goblin Eater in big red letters, they'd think twice. Maybe. Alright, now we're in Azizla, where everything ended, so I guess we're pretty close to the end now. Unless we really are doing the patch quest stuff. Which I don't think we are. Must be remembering Isael. Maybe? You spy something on the ground at the landing's edge. Okay. Did we forget something? Oh. Oh! I never realized. This is what we saw not 2 episodes ago. It was what Estinian was doing in that last cutscene when he was walking like with the bouquet in hand. I think he was going like towards the church or something, I don't recall exactly, but I never put 2 and 2 together that he was doing this for a sale. And it was here in this cutscene, or in this side quest all along. Well, I'm glad I'm doing this now, even if I never did it on my main character. A bouquet of fresh Nemea lilies lies at your feet, an offering for the departed. A thousand fires blossomed around her as she fell towards the battleship, a crimson star shower amidst the impassive clouds. Then came the azure light, faint at first, soon blinding, then shattering, casting motes of diamond to the 4 winds. I never knew. Oh, we're visiting Tiamat too. That's kind of fitting. She just kind of sits there, right? A permanent landmark in As He Saw, never leaving. So visiting her in this side quest, I guess, is their way of capping off her unfinished story, her indefinite, unending story or whatever. Because it was kind of left hanging during the main story. The previous Tombstone event actually would have given me a lot of riding maps that would have made these flights easier. I only got the one for the, where is it? The Sea of Clouds, because that one's the hardest to traverse whenever we're doing the Vanu Vanu side quests. But I could have gotten it here for As He Saw and a bunch of other places here in the Heavensward areas too, if I got more tombstones, but I didn't. Anyway, Tiamat. Child of man, chosen of Heidelin, naught remaineth for thee here, save the delusions of the condemned. In my madness did I spy my departed brood brother in yonder skies, though I know it cannot be so. Oh, she must have seen somehow. The ghost of Nidhogg, even she felt that. All the way over here, no less. Interesting. Kind of fun. Yeah, he died. Sorry, I guess no one told you the news. What sayest thou? Mine senses are yet mine own. Then, he whom I saw was but my dead brother's rancor clad in mortal flesh. Yeah, she's kind of way behind. She didn't even know that Nidhogg's spirit was possessing Estinian for a long time, I guess. Nobody really visits these parts to deliver news. Except us. We're doing it right now, I guess. And thou didst deliver him unto death's cold embrace. I bear thee no ill will, child, 'tis beyond me. All my hatreds are bound up in moments ephemeral and eternal, my beloved's passing and his resurrection. I am no better than Nidhogg, consumed by love, twisted by rage. I too sought vengeance without end. Yet thou hast since renounced it, hast thou not? Through millennia I have watched as time did that which I could not, as the men of Alec perished and their works fell to ruin, leaving me to think on mine own sins in solitude. What folly to despise man his base desires, when hatred's hand so effortlessly drove me to take Essay and read, Then look thou on him again, with eyes unclouded, and mark how he labours to rise above his nature. How he and Facefelger's brood now raise their voices in a shared song of peace. 'Tis my dearest hope that it shall prove the founding stone for a bulwark against the dark. As time delivered Alec unto its reward, so too will it prove, this peace true or fleeting, as I remain here apart and watch. You say watch, but you're kind of... well, it's hard to get news, like I said. You can maybe only see one thing every few patches or something, I don't know. If someone's ghost or some dragon roars or something, I guess those roars go pretty far. Maybe Facefelger can, I don't know, call you on the phone or something using the dragon roar, whenever something important happens. Chosen of Heidelin, it is well that thou camest unto me in contemplation, but the road stretches ever on, and thy battle is not yet won. Yeah, several more expansions to go. Perhaps there was hope for them, perhaps this time they would learn and remember, but her part in the tale had ended long ago. Within this monument to Hebus would she remain until the end of days, beyond redemption. And we can't talk to Tiamat for any flavor text. Not really an NPC so much as a landmark, like I said. This would be the last step, I guess, or one of the last steps, because it's the final battle, I guess. Of course, we still have things to do here. We gotta do the whole, Warring Triad questline, at least the part that unlocked during this patch. Which I think wasn't actually another trial. I think only a dungeon, or not a dungeon, a quest unlocked for this part of the patch. The Undying Ones were defiant, disbelieving, even as death embraced them. Then the knights too succumbed, loyal to the last, to a cause long lost. His body growing light, the Archbishop looked upon the arbiter of his fate, and knew not what he saw. And then, it was over. Even here they kind of point out that one part of the scene where the Archbishop looks at you and sees some kind of scary silhouette, wondering what exactly you are. More and more, I'm pretty sure they're foreshadowing like important plot points later on or something. Things that I probably would have never realized unless I was playing again here on a second character. Naught remained save the eyes, thinking to bear them away from the covetous hands of men. Estinian took the accursed baubles in his own, and was duly bent to their will, if only for a time. At a friend's behest, had they embarked upon their journey, and so, after their triumphant homecoming, and all the pomp and circumstance, there was but one way it could end. Oh, I see. This is the part of the quest where they want you to find where you have to go. It's pretty obvious, I guess. We kind of skipped over this part a little bit. When we got to the Hilda part of the questline, she mentioned it briefly. This kind of happened in the middle of the story, but I guess this makes sense to do as the last step in your journey of remembrance. It's too bad the weather is terrible for this sort of thing. Maybe if we're lucky, the quest will put us into a cutscene where the weather will be better. I guess this kind of weather isn't too terrible for this sort of thing, but It's not the best. Oh. Oh, him too. I didn't realize his NPC model could just show up here randomly. You know, I never really visited this grave that much myself as my main character. So I wouldn't have seen like all the NPCs that just randomly appear here. The developers like doing this sort of thing with random NPCs, like the non-targetable NPCs that just randomly wander around sometimes and show up in places that you'd never expect them. That was Francel of House Hyanard, I guess. Yeah, we met Francel around the same time we met Horsefont, I guess, so that's kind of fitting. And they did change the weather, I guess, so that's good. Tell him all about it. I like that. It kind of ends without narration, it just kind of... Oh. Well, we'll get to that in a sec, but... It just kind of ends with your character talking to a grave without any real closing narration that's been accompanying you throughout the entire questline. It's just kind of effective. Anyway, we learned the emote Horsefont. I didn't realize that was like a thing you could unlock. I gotta get that on my main character. What is that emote anyway? Oh. Yeah, his iconic gesture. I do like that. Can we put that on the hotbar somewhere? Or I can maybe make room? Maybe we can replace the dance move or one of these? The waving over maybe, or... Let's replace... Oh, I have 2 beckons. I don't need 2 beckons. We can put on this one, yeah. Once the text that appears, you express your fervent approval. And targeting someone is... You express your fervent approval of so-and-so. Okay. I gotta get down my main character. I already said that, but I feel like I really missed out not getting this. These, some of these emotes are hidden behind orange quests like this, without you ever realizing it. Like the snowball throwing emote. Well, we got it. And now what? I guess we go back. I could kill some time with more side quests. What is... Oh, right. We'll do that in a second. We can do this at the same time we do that, because it's basically the same thing. So I guess what we're going to do is, with the remaining time... This should be enough time for the dungeon, I guess. Yeah. We'll just kind of cram it in here at the very end, as an afterthought, pretty much. It feels like the side quest that we just did is going to be the main stuff, the main exciting thing that we did this patch, or this episode. Normally I have the dungeon be the focal point of the episode, but I feel like the reminiscence quest was more important. I actually don't know what the dungeon is here, so I'm gonna have to look it up. 3.3 content, and then, let's see. Features... Dungeon is Hullbreaker Isle, which is unlocked from... Lower the Nocia. We're going over there, I guess. Okay. I should probably, change out of these posh clothes. There, back to normal. Actually, now might not be the great time to go into an optional dungeon. I'm getting second thoughts now. I'm actually recording this in the middle of the night, so getting people to join me in a dungeon is probably going to be pretty impossible. I guess I can try. Lower the Nocia? No wait, lower the Nocia, that's over here. Right. When I read lower the Nocia, my brain said the lower part of Limsa. Is that it? No, that's orange. Wait, where is it? What I read must have been something else. I think the unlock for this must be in Limsa, right? I'm pretty sure I saw it like somewhere on the upper level or something one time. Would have been like, yeah, where we first unlocked it. That's right. Well, I guess one way to look at it is that maybe at this time of night, there aren't that many people queuing up into the duty roulette, so there's no one going to be ahead of me in the line, I guess. That's probably not true, though. I'm pretty sure just saying this late at night means I'm gonna have to wait a long time. Well, look who's back in Limsa. Me and the chief were just talking about the wench. Talking about you at the wench, you know. Come to think of it, wait here. I'll go and get him. It's his resting day, but he wanted to speak to you. Something about Hullbreaker. As for why Komori's doing this after her quest of reminiscence, I don't know. Glad to see you back, Komori. Every time I hear your name, I'm reminded of how you helped me salvage that coffer from Hullbreaker Isle. Reminded, you say? Sure. Maybe Komori was feeling nostalgic for that too, for some reason. That very specific quest that really didn't stand out amongst everything else that we've ever done. But I guess Komori felt nostalgic for it, and that's why she's here. You did me a great favor, lass. Though the rumors of Miss Beard's treasure soon died down, I couldn't abide the thought of having the Har picked apart by vultures. So I petitioned the Admiral to sanction the establishment of a camp on the island for the purpose of hosting training exercises. I reasoned that the place was remote enough to give our recruits a proper taste of combat. The truth be told, with all the administrative duties asked of them these days, I'm more worried about our finest going soft. Sparring with your comrades might keep the rust from your blade, but it won't stop it from going dull. That being the case, I thought I might ask for your help in a little sharpening exercise. Remind them what it feels like to be in a real fight. The chief was hoping you might run the Maelstrom's training gauntlet, and give our elites a good going over. Nothing too rough like. Just a few missing teeth, and the odd cracked rib, savvy? Assuming you're willing, come and find me at the Morby Dry Docks when you're ready, and I'll arrange passage to Hullbreaker for you and your mates. Okay, what I read must have been the point where we enter the actual dungeon, not where we pick up the quest. The boats that ferries the men to Hullbreaker casts off from Morby Dry Docks. Meet me there and I'll get you squared away. Mimido is still here, and he still has some cards I haven't added to my collection. I should probably stop caring about that though, because I'm definitely not getting every single card as Komori, so I should just call it quits, ahead of time. Ever since we took control of that rock, It's been my job to keep an eye on the skies over the sealed doorways. When the misty mane of the Doxy's pole sweeps in, there ain't no point weighing anchor as you can't see an ilm in front of your face. Long story short, I have to stay here and watch the weather. But I'll be listening out for word of how you get on. Thanks for agreeing to do this, by the way. Having a fabled hero like yourself go to the same regiment as the infantrymen will do wonders for morale. Any road, the weather seems to be behaving just now, so let me know when your crew is ready to be ferried over. We'll get everything in place. In the meantime, give them storm elites a bloody nose for me, eh? I guess we're technically captain in these storms, so it's sort of like, what is it, supervising, I guess you could call it? The training exercise is what we're doing, so we might as well put on the supervisor's captain's whatever hat while we're doing this training exercise. And we're gonna have to, of course, party up with people, real people, because we can't do this solo. The wait time says 13 minutes, but I feel like it's gonna be like 30 minutes. We'll wait and see. And we're in. Hullbreaker Island hard. Definitely should not have tacked this on to the end of this episode. It took way too long to spawn in here. Or for the duty roulette, rather. Oh, they're calling me captain, even in the dungeon. Wouldn't have expected that. The whole framing for this dungeon is that it's a training exercise, but it seems like it might be not too exciting if you just have, I don't know, all the enemies just be for training. I don't really remember how this dungeon goes, but maybe we'll see if they make it interesting with something or other. What is going on? Should I be standing here? Oh, okay. Couldn't quite tell based on the ground where we should be standing. It seemed like all of it was dangerous for a second there. Might have just been the color of the ground though. Ah, that interrupted. Great. I guess the challenge for the tank is not tanking inside that huge ring of fire, I guess. What's the first boss even going to be? I think last time on the normal mode it was a huge monkey, gorilla, which had some kind of banana mechanic or something. I don't really remember. Oh, is it Roswin? No, it's not Roswin. But it is her gang. I never realized we actually fight Roswin's gang during this dungeon. It probably went over my head on my main character. But now I guess I'm paying a bit more attention to I guess characters and factions in general, even the smaller ones. Out of range. Seems like Targiri here is... No, I was going to say the main target. Seems like it's just a bunch of ads we're fighting. At least I have some interesting attack patterns, despite all being ads. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of attacks. Did I get hit by that? Looks like that one's on the healer, so I guess we should take care of it first. They're really attacking all over the place, huh? And that's it. Interesting battle, even if it didn't feel like there was much of a climax or whatever. Yes, I'll take those. I guess I can't. Probably don't need these ley lines, but I might as well put them down. I have 2 charges after all. Oh, and I don't have mana. Oops. Getting my rotation all wrong. I guess it's fine. Pretty sure we didn't go down this path in the normal Hullbreaker. Yeah, I don't think I remember these squid things. The slug whatever. Nautilus? Whatever these are called. The, sea? Nudibranch things? Sea slugs, I guess. Oh, and Carvalane too. I guess that makes sense. But I guess his champion is just a normal boss, rather than a flurry of guys or something. Doesn't seem like anything we have to worry about over here yet. No, it hopped into a new one. Am I? Okay. I guess we hide behind this. Oh no. No! That's not fair. I guess we had to get away from those things. A little bit dicey there, but I guess we survived. And leveled up. I always forget to eat food before we actually get into a dungeon. It's always the leveling up noise that reminds me I'm getting experience, so I need to maximize my experience with food. It's kinda too late now though. Not really. I guess I can just eat something. We can eat anything. Like, this orange juice. I guess as far as a training exercise goes, if you're fighting these characters, these side characters that are kind of lurking in the background for most of A Realm Reborn and all that, and kind of giving them more character, it's at least a little bit exciting to see them actually do something for once. I guess this is the kind of thing that players who are paying attention to side characters and all that, they get the most benefit out of doing these side quests, or whatever. Guess I should be doing AoE, since it's 3. They weren't all grouped up for a second there, though. Don't mind if I do. Oh, it's Riki. She's the one we kind of turn in all of our company stuff when we were still ranking up, I guess, too. Guess we're showing her who's boss now, even though we technically don't outrank her yet. And probably never will if they never continue the whole ranking system, which they probably won't. Probably should have saved that for the actual boss fight, but I didn't really use it this entire dungeon, so... And of course the last one I do remember. The second in command of the Maelstrom himself. The guy whose ship is sitting here as a shipwreck. Old Mistbeard. Under a different name now. Weren't we supposed to be training all of his guys or something? Now he's just here fighting us for fun or something? Seems like his health is draining rather fast. We haven't really seen any mechanics yet. Come on, Mistbeard, show us something. Okay, there's Mistbeard, the actual Mistbeard. Maybe we get rid of these by pushing them aside? As far away as possible, I guess, over here. Oh, what's this now? I guess we want to be by this. Oh, I barely hung on there. I guess I got hit by the powder keg, but the other thing didn't hit me. So what's this attack now? Oh. She's slow and can't get out of the way. That's unfortunate for her. Kind of late to pull that out, but I was too busy focusing on what attacks Mistbeard might do. Didn't really get to see much mechanics, but it was interesting at least. Seeing all of these guys come out here. The old pirates of Limsa Minsa actually doing something for once. Not that they never do anything, but it's pretty rare. So I'm glad to see it. I'll give you one of these, too. Fervent approval. Didn't see the whole emote. I should have started with that one. Wahaha. Seems like ages since I felt this alive, says Mistbeard. I like the change of his name in between the, well, from his first phase to his second phase, I guess. Didn't really see any of his attacks in the first phase, it just seemed like an AoE or something. Well fought. Mayhap you will have the pleasure of facing me one day. That never happens. Not really a spoiler to say, but you never really fight Blowfistwin, or I guess you fight Raubon, like we did in the Grand Melee, but you also don't fight like anyone from Gridania. I guess Connie Senna isn't really the fighting type, but it's kind of a shame. They seem like they're foreshadowing fighting Blowfistwin here, but never really comes to fruition. Well, maybe one day our actual company rank is going to be high enough that we can actually challenge Blowfistwin in battle. Not really. It's not even high enough to challenge Riki in battle, even though we just did that, but she's like a first storm commander or something, right? She outranks us. Alright, back to Limsa. You know, I guess I was calling this episode a nostalgia trip or something. We can reason away that the reason we did all of this stuff with Hullbreaker Island is maybe Komor was feeling nostalgic for our old group of marauders and thieves over in there. What did I call them again? The Crimson Blaze to rival Alphinode's Crystal Braves, which is technically sort of part of the storm. The Maelstrom, rather. Kind of embedded within the Maelstrom as like a splinter cell, is what I'm pretending. Neither here nor there. Just what I call my adventurer squadron, for fun. Yeah, that's why we did this quest. To reminisce about our old adventurer squadron, which is still waiting for us over there. We should probably visit sometime, maybe after this episode. Well, how was it? Did you give them elites the hiding of their lives or what? Come on, out with it. Patience, lad. All of them so will know the tale ere long. Yeah, the tale of how we kicked your ass. 'Twas a sight to behold, that much I will say. Komor and her comrades carved their way to beasts and men, like a cutter to a swell. Not even a visit from the sirens and the krakens could slow their pace. You know, if I could've, I would've run through that dungeon with my, adventurer squadron. There are some dungeons that you can run through them with, unfortunately that's not one of them. That would have been like the perfect way to cap off this nostalgia trip, I guess. And also, the Adventurer Squadron can't do any dungeons beyond level 60, so this would have been like one of the last chances where they could have added in a dungeon for the squadron to do, but they kind of stopped that at a few patches before this. Anyway. Eh? Pirates turned up at the drill? What in the seven hells did they want? Why, to do their civic duty, of course. They invited themselves, as members of the Black Sails Unit. You'd be forgiven for forgetting, but the pirate powers are still bound to the Maelstrom by the Gladian Accord. Of course, they never deigned to take part in our exercises, and we've long since stopped asking. As for why they chose to graze this one, I reckon word got out that the Warrior of Light would be facing our finest, and they fancied to go themselves. I saw no reason to deny them. Admit it. You wanted to see them, or see if them old cutthroats could still hold their own in a fight. Begging your pardon, Chief, but are you alright? You look a bit sore. Don't tell me you... I deemed it good for morale, but I did not come here to speak of that. Komor, the Maelstrom is grateful for your participation. May you sail with us till sea swallows all. Good day to you both. I'd have stowed away on the fair if I'd known the chief would be fighting. Seeing you in action must have woken the spirit of the golden age in him. Though I doubt he's as spry as he was back then. I hope you didn't give him too bad of a beating. Legends like Mistbeard never get old. But the chief, well, he's just a man. But let's keep this little chat between ourselves, eh? Good to see you again, Komori. Thanks for helping out the chief. No problem. Legends of old indeed. Or something like that. Just goes to show you can't take the book out of the buccaneer, even if he's a disciplined old salt like the chief. Even so, his loyalty to the Maelstrom is second to none. Yeah, we're not exactly loyal ourselves. And on that note, we take off the hat. And go back to these other guys who, I guess, might need our help more than anyone here in A Realm Reborn. So who are we helping out first? Actually, undecided on what we're going to do next episode. So I guess we're just going to retire to the Forgotten Night while I think about what we're going to do. I'm sure I'll come up with something by the time I hit the record button next time. Episode went on kind of long because I had to make time for the dungeon, but I'm glad we squeezed it in. Actually, I maybe should have done this dungeon while doing the... yeah, I should have done it during the Warring Triad questline, because that also takes around 30 minutes to do that. And then I could have spared the other 30 minutes for the dungeon. That would have been the more efficient use of my time. I'm only just realizing it. Great. Well, now I have this feeling of having wasted my time that I'm gonna have to get over before the next episode. While I do that, now would be a good time to take a break.